Hi there, everybody. I got a quote today on my phone, and I thought it would be a great way to start off our conversation today. It says, a bit of wisdom. People don't pay you what they think you're worth. They pay you what you think you're worth. So think about that for just a second. People don't pay you what they think that you're worth. They pay you what you think you're worth. So just take a little mental break here, a little assessment. How much are you worth an hour? Do you trade time for dollars? Do you know that your salary breaks down to a certain amount per hour? Have you shifted your mindset to more of an investor and a business owner mindset, and you don't think of your time as in trading time for dollars? That's where we want you to go. So if you're thinking of a certain value per hour, granted, you can look at all the money that you make in a month and divide it by the hours that you work, or all the money that you make in a year, divide it by the hours that you work, and you can figure out your hourly rate. But another way to look at things is understanding that the value that you're able to have from out here coming in, is the value that you think you're worth. So one of the things that we do, I've got a book that I've written, it's called Life-Let-It-Flow-Effortlessly. So I wanted to focus on the subhead here today, how being genuine creates real value. There's a section in the book that's called Creating Real Value, and that's what I wanted to kind of go through today to kind of break it down to give you some ideas. Obviously, there's a lot of foundation work that leads up to that. It's very important that you work on the inside first. Many of you have probably heard the analogy of, if you're going to cut down a forest, you could spend the most amount of time sharpening your axe to be able to, create the ability to go through the trees much faster. I don't know if you've ever tried to do any kind of chopping or anything like that, but if you have a dull axe, which many of us do, we haven't worked on the inside of us. We haven't really identified those subconscious blocks or realized how life's discouragements have kind of held us back. So when you start to work on that inside part, it's like sharpening your axe. And so when you go out to be effective outside, then you can certainly go through things a lot quicker. But when we're thinking about value, and if you're not making what you would like to be making, then you need to turn around and look inside on what it is that I feel my value is worth, because that's setting the bar, and you're only going to get below that. So opportunities are going to come to you as you fill up more value inside of you. We have an analogy that we work through as I'm working through mentoring people with this book, or doing group trainings and team leading events. Whatever you believe that is creative energy. To me, I was born on Christmas, so for me it's God. I look at the download of information that comes unlimited from my Creator, from my relationship with God. That fills me up like a cup. And then as I fill up like a cup, and I don't have any holes in my bucket or in the bottom of my cup, I don't have any weak spots where I'm losing that value out the bottom. I'm a vessel, and I'm containing all of that inspiration and all of that guidance to know my true value based on my Creator. As I'm doing that, then I fill up that cup, and that cup spills out over the sides and all over the table. So I have an unlimited supply filling me up first and spilling out to others. That's what I believe that we're supposed to design our life and our value. What I find is that people have had, chinks or holes or things, kind of engraved into that cup or that bucket that they hold things in. And what happens is then whatever comes in, compliments, achievements, inspiration, goes straight out the bottom, leaks out. Or even some people have become sort of, so humble, and it's honorable to live a humble life. But if you pop up an umbrella and you shed off everything that is coming to you as far as compliments and value and worth and opportunities, and you're like, no, not me, I'm good, I don't need anything, then what's going to happen is you're going to shed all of that off into the people that are around you. You're going to leave yourself empty or draining yourself, and then you won't have that unlimited source and resource to be able to provide to everybody. Because every day is full of opportunities. We all have the opportunities to make money, to exchange our experiences for value, to command and open up opportunities to come to us with effortlessness. And that's what it's all about. Life, let it flow effortlessly. So today, let's dive into creating real value. I've got some things marked in here, so I'm going to go through a couple highlights to make sure that I don't go off tangent. Try to keep the video short enough so you can take a look at this and maybe watch some other ones if you'd like. So I opened this particular section with reflecting on the It's a Wonderful Life movie. So think about that. When somebody tugs on you, what other things are attached in your life that you may not notice that you've actually created a lot of value? in that movie, the main character learned that the value of his life was never about what he made. It was always about what he made possible for everyone else around him. He learns what a difference his presence has made, and his life meant so much more than he originally believed. So think about your life. You may not know the value of your life, depending on how you're coaching and mentoring yourself, whether or not you have outside people that are actually helping to mastermind and help to guide you. We have blind spots. We can't even see things that sometimes are so brilliant and valuable for our audience or for connections that we're working with, that we may not realize that we're that valuable. We may just think, oh, it's just something I do really naturally. It's something that comes easy to me. Those are the places of brilliance. When you kind of settle into your own genius, you're doing things that typically are hard for other people. They become really natural and easy for you. And you may discount them as not even being something that would be worth anything because it just took me a couple seconds to do it, but it took your whole entire life to be able to get to that point. So remember, understanding what your market needs, who you're connecting with, whether you're leading employees in your company or whether you're working with outside clients, all those things that may come really easy for you, that are easy to do, effortless for you, they may be worth the most value. So if my presence shows up and I'm in this environment, I may not need to say anything or do anything, but my presence alone with everything that I can bring to the table, to listen or to be able to ask better questions, that is the deal. If we can get to the point where you are enough, then you can be very effective in just about anything you want to do, whether you're parenting or relating or leading, owning a business, trying to do investments, that kind of thing. You're enough when you actually understand that inside part and let that part start flowing over to everything else. One of the things that I learned a long time ago is that if you're stuck, you're stuck. And when you're stuck, you're in paralyzed fear. That is not a good place to be physically or emotionally. So sometimes just being able to, keep your body moving, keep your business moving forward, keep your activities going forward. Keeping in motion is really key to to stop you from getting paralyzed. Because once you're paralyzed, now it's a lot harder to get something started. So think of a car. If I stop it and put it in a parking spot, it's a whole lot harder for me to push that thing forward. But if I'm moving along and I'm going down at some sort of pace, it's easy for me to steer and navigate around things because I have some momentum behind me. So just understand that keeping in motion is really key. So working on yourself, being able to work on your team, bringing development to them is really important, staying in motion. And remember that we want to be able to get to a point where we have that fulfillment, that unlimited fulfillment, where it comes and keeps coming, and there's no scarcity whatsoever. I have tons of value to be able to let it slip over the side and to go all over the table and to affect all the people in my community, the people that are willing to develop and to go to a higher level. It's not for everybody. Not everybody wants to be a leader. Not everybody wants to be out and talking to people. But I'll tell you this, the ones who are the most quiet and introspective ones are some of the most powerful leaders that I see. They don't say anything until it's really important, and what they say really matters. So it doesn't have to be the person that's out front on the stage. Sometimes those people that are quietly knowing are your best resources to get on your team, to have them be masterminding with you, because they see a perspective and they know a lot. They may not tell you until you ask, because they don't feel like it needs to be said until they're actually directly asked. So involve people in your development as well. There was a quote that came across my desk in the late 1990s, early 2000s. I think it was 1999. It's Marianne Williamson's quote. It's actually featured in that Akilah and the Bee movie, but I want to read it here just to create this, because this is the essence of what we're trying to help people step into, is to understand their power. And Marianne Williamson wrote it great, so I didn't want to change that. So she states, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. Does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. This quote came by my desk when I was a graphic designer owning a branding and marketing company. I had left my corporate job. We were doing very well. I had been involved in publishing some children's books that I illustrated, and we actually became the publisher of that. We self-published that series, and with the author and myself, we actually distributed those books nationally and internationally. But everything was going fantastic. I had no complaints in the world, except for the fact that I was constantly on, and I could never really pull back and take time away. I knew there was something bigger, but I didn't yet know what that was, and it was scary to think about myself as anything but what I had created in this branding and marketing career. Do you ever feel like that? You've been doing what you've been doing for so long. Your training and experience has led you to be an expert in your field. You're commanding a great rate per hour, or you're making a nice lifestyle. But you just have this little whisper, this little haunt. And the thing that caught me was your playing small does not serve the world. Even though I'd had great accomplishments, I knew I was playing small. And I realized that as I was going to find this liberation and get away from fear that was holding me back, that I was actually going to have my presence was going to automatically liberate others. And I've seen this come all the way around to fruition. People come up to me and they'll meet me at an event and they'll say, I just feel more encouraged after talking to you, or I heard your talk, or I heard you give some advice, and it just inspired me to take action. So it was interesting because my presence alone is doing that because I've thoughtfully allowed that to happen. I'm not shedding that away anymore, and I'm actually bringing it in and letting it fill up over me and spill into others. It's an unlimited, easier way to do things, to let things flow effortlessly, right? But I didn't realize that power. People think I have a ton of confidence. I don't. I've just learned how to be able to use my expertise and to give and share to a lot of people around me. And it can be misunderstood. I had a lady that was talking to me, and she was sharing with me that she misunderstood me in the beginning and thought that I had all these things that I really wasn't about. She'd projected upon me. But as we broke down those walls and we were able to create a relationship, she really understood that we're a lot alike. And I was powerful and she was powerful. And instead of seeing me as competitively powerful, now we're actually collaborating together. And because of that, each of us is raising each other up. Isn't that beautiful? I've had that happen so many times where I've been able to understand people long enough for them to tell me that they were misunderstood about me in the beginning. Can you imagine what people are being misunderstood about you? Maybe they think you're too quiet. Maybe they think you're too loud. Maybe they think you're too confident. Maybe they don't know how vulnerable you really are, or how insecure you might be. What if you could be genuinely real, authentic? And by doing that, you'd actually give others permission to be real and honest themselves. It takes a lot less effort to be who you were created to be and not compare yourself to others. It's really powerful. So I hope that you can start to delve into some of this work, and as we go through, maybe other talks and things like that, I'd be happy to hear how it's going for you. One of my strengths is maximizer. And what that is that helps to bring out the best in people. I can see things that are good, and I can see the advantages of how they might be able to get to great, to make that really effortless and easy for them. My second strength is strategy. So it's really easy for me. If you say, I don't want to do this, then I'm like, great, well, let's try this. Or how do you want to see it play out? And let's go create a strategy for that. It's really easy for me to do that because those are my strengths. And the third strength that I have is winning others over. So I can sell you on you better than you can sell yourself right now. And that means that word sell is not a bad word. You need to own that you're really valuable. You're priceless. You're important. And really what's happening now is we're starting to see a new level of leadership, people that are authentic and genuine, that are stepping up and stepping out. There's never been a better time to collaborate and work with each other, to build a community that's like-minded, and that we're going to do some things to solve some of the things we don't like seeing from leadership, where we don't see people that are in positions being responsible with that. That's just a call for leadership. We need you to lead. We need you first to lead yourself. And then as you're comfortable with understanding your value and your leadership skills, and we can continue to help develop you as a person, then you'll be able to stand in that position and authentically and genuinely attract people to you. They're going to feel freed, they're going to feel encouraged, and they're going to follow your example because your presence is going to give them the confidence to follow in your footsteps. And that's how you start a value sequence that's going to happen out there. This can happen in any job. It doesn't matter, product or service. It doesn't matter. Anywhere that you're relating to people and building community, it doesn't matter. This is valuable for you to be able to develop. It'll help you with your relationships with your kids. It'll help you with your relationships with your spouse or your partner. It'll help you in everything. So I knew deep down that I could inspire more people to take action, to embrace their own uniqueness. That acronym, YOU, is your own uniqueness. Everyone has it. You have something that's totally uniquely you. No one has this thumbprint. No one ever will. So look at your thumb. Think about it like, what was I created to be? What do I love doing? What do I like doing? How do I want to show up in the world? What kind of activities do I want to be involved in? No one else ever has this thumbprint, ever will. And you have something that's unique to you that we're all waiting for you to be able to share that with us. Because as we collaborate together and we work to build each other up, not to beat each other down, we can build fabulous communities. And that's why I was saying I sell you on you, because sometimes you don't realize what the value is. We can do an assessment, we can see what your strengths are, we can look at a personality profile and kind of see how you're wired, so we can make sure to understand introverted versus extroverted. Neither of those is any one better or the other. It just means how you lose your energy and how you gain your energy. And we just need to know that so we can teach you how to navigate better the activities that you might want to do in your community or your business or your career, your job. But understand that your presence alone is enough. And then I was looking at it like, instead of being attached to the computer and doing graphic work, which I was very talented at doing, branding and marketing and that kind of thing, helping businesses create more sales or connect better with their audiences, to make it more genuine, the conversation that the company was having with their clients. That was my gift. So now I'm just focusing it more into a bigger area that I'm more enjoying, is working with people, rather than being stuck behind the computer doing hours and hours working on something branding and marketing oriented, which are great. It's a good foundation, but it kept me away from people. And I love meeting people. I love hearing your story. I love hearing your experiences. And I love hearing your struggles, because I know that by you knowing these struggles or these challenges, we can identify them easily if you know what they are, and we can start looking at how come that causes me to stumble. Why is that so important or powerful that I must break through? And we don't have to break through it. Sometimes there's a way to go around it. Sometimes there's just a way to go, I'm not going to put myself in that situation anymore. But there's always solutions. I haven't found anything in the world that we couldn't put our mind to and figure out something. There's always something that can be done. So never lose hope. Never lose hope. That's one of the things, if you call my voicemail, you'll hear that. Every day I'm out there sharing hope, helping other people every day, everywhere, in every way. That's my strategy. And one of the things that I was impressed upon or given to me, that was kind of, again, that unlimited download, is people just need to be seen and heard. Take this to the bank. If you do nothing more than give people the seeing and hearing that they desire, one of the things in some of the older books of personal development they talk about in How to Win Friends and Influence People is they say people are starved for appreciation. If you seed appreciation into the relationships around you, people are going to naturally seed that back into you. You're going to be very well appreciated. If you show interest in people, people think that you're interesting. It's not about you telling them about yourself. It's about you seeding these things into them, because again, your value is based on the value that you have outside of yourself, right? It's not about like your measure of things, like what you're gaining is how you value you. The more that you value you and know that your experience is needed, then the more value that you're going to create in that marketplace, okay? And it's really simple how things are going to work for you. I'm excited to hear how this is going to open things up. You can change your daily patterns. If you need some clarification, you can message me or email me through the contacts on this particular post. And I look forward to being able to hear how I can help you. Because we are working together now to build like a collective intelligence. Each person having their own gifts, their own expertise to add to this. And we're collaborating in a way that's more powerful than any person doing it alone. It's win, 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 and maybe even win. There's everyone in this process wins. It's not about trying to lose your identity and be a part of something that's less than. It's when we collaborate together, we can ratchet each other up, and we can go up to the highest of ranks faster, the highest levels of leadership. One of my friends, Sharon Lecter, had told me a long time ago, is 1 + 1 is not 2. 1 + 1 is 11. When I come alongside of you, we have a lot more value. We have both of our experiences. It's not even multiplied, it's side by side. So collaborative math, and God math is what I call it, 1 + 1 is 11. 1 + 1 + 1 is 111. So think about magnifying things as we bring people into our community and we form a group of people that are willing to collaborate, that are willing to appreciate each other, that are willing to be interested in others instead of self-serving, that we're here to help. How can I take away the barriers for you? How can I help you get around those? We're out here contributing, and we're coming alongside each other, and we're multiplying our effects much faster and much more effective and much more deep and longevity forever than you could ever imagine if you were adding or multiplying. So those are some interesting things to kind of think about. That's what I had for you today on how being genuine creates real value. This is the book, Life-Let-It-Flow-Effortlessly. You can get it on Amazon. And also I have an event coming up in April where we're going to be diving into a Facebook group. It'll be a private group that you can be invited into. It's 11 days, one thing per day. I'm going to try to make it very bite-sized, very easy to start into some form of really appreciating yourself and understanding how you can create better, effortless life and work, and fulfillment is the ultimate goal. Because people that want fulfillment are looking for ideas, but not just ideas. We want to be able to inspire the action so you can immediately feel the difference. Transformation happens quickly and it's permanent. So it's not about trying to work on something or try something. This is really real for you. If you have that haunt and you know that you're up to something and you want to be a part of something to leave a legacy, that's the people I'm looking for right now. We've got some great things to do, but first, we have to make sure that you're as effective as you can be. And that doesn't take that long. We've had a group I've been working with just for a few weeks, and they've already had massive changes in the way they view their life. And every day things have changed for them. They're seeing all kinds of better results and more momentum than they could ever have imagined when we first started on this book and the mentoring that we're doing. So I'm inviting you, if this is something you've been looking for. This is no accident you found this post. I hope you can share it along with a friend. There are people that are in transition between careers, finding new ways to be. There are jobs and businesses that are not going to go forward, and people are going to have to figure out what to do next. Just remember that people are always going to be important. Knowing how to relate and connect is always going to be valuable. And being able to bring out the best in others and build your own fulfillment is going to be a valuable skill to learn. So doesn't matter what you do, and it can be fun, and we'll enjoy creating a collaborative community where we have collective intelligence and we can focus our attention in all different directions. So if this is something that excites you and you maybe never been an entrepreneur, or maybe you want to be a business owner, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you work a job or you're retired. Doesn't matter if you're young and have never had any experience. You've got everything you need all inside of you. Remember that thumbprint. And hopefully you'll give me a thumbs up here, and I look forward to talking to you more in the future. Thanks for listening.